How do you develop spiritual discernment? Because as you know, every voice we hear is not the voice of God. Now, for me, as there's many voices in the word, and there's many voices in the world, and we need to differentiate between who and what these voices are. So, for example, you have the voice of God. You have your own voice, your own internal voice. You have the voice of the world, the voice of your flesh, the voice of the enemy, the voice of other people. So we have to test every single voice to the word of God. So when it comes to God's voice, if you want to know what God sounds like, you have to spend time in the word, because the word helps you to identify when God is speaking. If you're not in the word, then how are you going to know what God sounds like? You're not. Okay. The other thing we need to understand is that we need to be able to differentiate our own voice, because all these voices sound like us. So we have to differentiate and know all these voices. We need to know our own voice and know what we actually sound like, because when the devil speaks to you, it sounds like you, but it's not. It's the enemy. Okay. Oh, you'll never amount to nothing. God doesn't love you. You can never be saved. See, that voice there is the voice of the devil, but it sounds like you. But I know that the devil never speaks anything positive. He only speaks words that are negative. Evil spirits, demons, they can only speak negativity. They only speak things that decay and destroy. That's the reason why I know the voice of the world, or the voice of the devil. The voice of the world is what tempts you to do worldly activities and go after worldly things, the lust of the eyes, the lust of the flesh, and the pride of life. Though your flesh also has a voice where it has fleshly appetites, but that wants to be satisfied. And we need to understand what our flesh sounds like. And this is what we need to do. We need to develop this spiritual discernment. And that's how you do it. We're in the word. Start to know what you sound like. The devil's exposed anyway, because demons only speak negativity or negatively. So I've given you quite a few keys right there. So we test every spirit by the word of God, and then it will begin to expose and show us who is actually talking. So that's how you develop your spiritual discernment.